of, men are not these monsters that they are being made out to be. Um, that they're actually really great human beings that have, their own set of challenges. And I think when we, as the women who love them, can understand those challenges, that it puts us in a better position to be supportive, but also to, have somebody actually ask for our input. Wouldn't it be cool if the guys started asking for our input? If they started coming to us and saying, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Hello, I'm Dr. Debbie, and I've been helping men, women, and couples grow together for more than 25 years. Now it's your turn to learn what I learned and taught as a couples counselor and university professor. You are the wise woman, and this is your personal development podcast packed with instant encouragement and practical tips. And men can learn about women too, because this is a safe place where women are valued and men are respected. We talk about biology, socialization, behavior, emotions, communication, and connection, because men and women are different. Always have been, always will be, and that's a very good thing. I really believe marriage should be a partnership. I've seen it happen. I've seen a lot of couples turn things around and be able to actually partner together in fresh, new, beautiful ways. But I've also seen some couples where that doesn't happen. So I want to be realistic about that. Oftentimes, when it doesn't happen, one or both of the people in the marriage have this idea that the other person is the one with the problem. If one person does not think they have a problem and everything that's wrong in the marriage is the other person, then I really can't help. And I have a better shot, believe it or not, if the woman is open to thinking that she might have something to do with it, because it's the woman most of the time that gets the guy to thinking, oh, well, maybe I've done something too. So I've seen that happen a ton of times. But I gotta say, despite the fact that men are supposed to be the leaders of the family, the spiritual leaders of the family from a Christian perspective, that no matter how hard he tries, if his wife is constantly attacking him, blaming him, criticizing him, it doesn't matter what he does. The family is not going to flourish. They're going to struggle. And there's just, I don't know, there's a whole lot he can do about it. Maybe sometimes, but maybe that's happened in your relationship. If it has, let me know. If you were the one that had issues and your husband was able to come along and say, hey, baby, you really ought to not do that, and it changed, let me know. But generally, we don't take feedback from our spouses very well at all. We're much more likely to get defensive if the feedback comes from our spouse. I might just shoot it straight across. Here's how you're coming across to your husband. Yeah, here's what he hears. That's why he's reacting the way that he is. You got to be tough if you want to make this work. If you really want to have a good marriage, you've got to let go of the defensiveness, and you got to be willing to look at what it is that you can do to make a difference. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean that you've got, bad ideas, or, that you should be just a silent partner. Trust me, I am not a silent person. That probably doesn't come as a surprise to you at all, does it? But it's the delivery that we use that often gets us into trouble. But really, wherever you go, whatever kind of help that you seek to make your relationship more what you want it to be, you really want to make sure that you get somebody that knows what they're doing, that has experience beyond their own personal relationship. And you want to have somebody who doesn't blame one person over the other. And it isn't always gender specific. Usually what I found is that many therapists in the first session decide which person is wrong and which person is right. And then they spend the rest of the time attacking the person who they think, is in the wrong, which is crazy because it's something that people create together. I tend to really direct a lot of my attention on the woman. I think because I am one. I know what she's experiencing. I know the frustrations that she's having, and I really want to help her. If she's doing things that he's reacting to in a negative way, I want to help her recognize that. When you're rolling along thinking that you're doing everything okay, and then all of a sudden you realize that your marriage was not even close to what you thought it was. So that's what I do. I'm trying to help the woman see the relationship from her husband's perspective. And in the process, as I'm talking to her, it's kind of tricky. As I'm talking to her and he's listening, he's hearing what it's like from her perspective. And men actually learn a little better that way, although sometimes, like I said, I'll just really come down hard on the guys and say, hey, you need to cut that out, because that's just mean. Thank you for listening to this episode of A Wise Woman's Guide to Men and Marriage. What did you think? Did the information raise more questions? Do you want to learn more? Head over to A Wise Woman's Guide for show notes and links to the resources mentioned in this episode at awisewomansguide.com.